very happy you're here for our fourth Tuesday meeting, which is a very special meeting tonight. Welcome. I'd like to start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. And like Mr. Limited, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now if we could observe a moment of silence, please. Thank you so very much. And now I'd like a motion to approve the agenda as posted.
Madam Chair, and I'd be glad to discussion with the other board members feel like to approve the agenda as presented with the exception of moving item number 7, which I think is what most of our visitors here tonight are for the first item. Support.
I'd really like to go through the other things first, because they're very short, okay?
You do?
So we, if we could.
Then we can socialize afterwards.
Yeah. Okay, and the
Okay.
next, so that's, I'm sorry, Larry.
I'll let you go with it. When we think it's short, it sometimes backfires. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Withdraw my motion.
All right, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Thank you. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. I would like to move public comment to the end at this time, if that's okay. The board shall consider a motion to award the bid for the Saginaw Water Tower painting project to Seven Brothers Painting Incorporated of Shelby Township, Michigan for $236,800 and authorize the township superintendent to execute all documents and contracts related to this project.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Support.
Thank
Who was the
you.
first one, Larry? Jude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it?
No.
All those in
Madam
favor?
Chair,
Yes.
please, question. Through you. Do we have a schedule for these painting, or was it a noticeable problem with the tower?
I'm not exact, this one was scheduled already in our 6-year enhanced maintenance plan. So I'm not sure if they're on a routine schedule. I know we have 2 other towers that are scheduled to be painted in the next 5 years. So usually we try and get them painted within 10 to 15 years, but with this one there is noticeable decay of the paint, and we had an engineering report on it a while back. I think you remember maybe back in April we had Nelson Engineering come out. They evaluated the tower itself, and they did notice some corrosion and paint material falling off the tower. So,
Okay. So we have these on schedule, we have them
Correct.
budgeting for the schedule?
absolutely.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
and there was an engineering study?
Yeah, and they are included in the 6-year enhanced maintenance, which is in the back of the DPW budget.
Yeah, sure.
Seems like- That seemed, I know when I was on the board before, we painted the Hollywood Tower in there, and that's a lot, that's a big jump from, of course, I realized that was 15 years ago, but that just seems like it's quadruple.
This is about average for what I've seen with water tower painting, absolutely. Now, this is above what the engineers estimate. They did anticipate it being lower. The bidding climate with all of our projects has been very volatile lately, so it did come back higher, unfortunately. But I expected around 200 to 250,000. I went with 200 in the budget because of the engineer's estimate. But
And we had multiple bids or not?
we had 2 bids. Unfortunately, that's not very much, and we bid this time of year on purpose so that we can get a low price. But unfortunately, we only attracted 2 bidders.
Okay.
One thing I do want to add, and I kind of, after you and I discussed it for the first time, that's not just paint. There's actually
Yeah.
a lot of
Correct.
maintenance and
Oh,
repair,
absolutely.
expansion
Right.
joints,
Yeah.
so
Sure.
as I read it deeper, it's,
There's a lot to go into it. I think I included the bid and everything else in there, what they included.
you did.
Okay, good.
Madam Chair.
Yes, all those in favor?
Scott wants
Oh, I'm
to-
sorry.
Scott's
That's all right. I just glanced through this real quick, but one of the things I know we discussed, just you and I, was with regard to the design. I know it's not a huge issue, but we talked, I know we had a few residents bring up that it should say Grand Blanc Township.
Correct.
I don't know, is that?
Yes, we
Yeah,
did add
design
township to the
plans.
lettering, and we're changing the color design of it also. Right now, it's one color. We're changing it to a two-color design, kind of like what the city just did on their water tower over off Perry Road. And that's basically to cover up the mildew that you see in the bottom of the bowl right now. So it'll prolong the look of the paint. One of the most important things that we can do as a water utility is to keep up on the appearance of all of our infrastructure, because that reflects a great deal on our maintenance, so.
Is there any kind of schematic of that, of what it'll look like?
I have some pictures in my office. I can definitely email them out if you'd like that. We haven't picked the colors yet officially. We know the top will be a lighter color and the bottom will be a darker color.
Right. I'm sure it's fine, but,
Sure.
but I'd just like to see it, just.
Absolutely, and I'd encourage you, the city actually has a really good video on their website. It's an aerial shot of their water tower. It'll be real similar to theirs.
Okay.
All right, everybody vote then, any more discussion, comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Secondly, the board shall consider a motion to approve the road engineering, storm sewer, and road construction observation proposal for the Security Park project for $16,000, and authorize the township superintendent to execute all related documents and contracts.
I will so move, Mr. Anderson.
Support. Count.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or comments? In that case, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. The board shall consider the adoption of a policy for the investment of OPEB funds. Any discussion or comment?
I think, I recall our last meeting, we discussed that we were waiting for some clarification. I don't know if Earl was able to get that with
Yes.
Johnny, or-
Well, we did get some
Yeah.
clarification, but Mr. Ladd and I still need to talk to MERS on a few comments because we looked at some items, but the procedure here is to set this in place, and then we're gonna get in greater detail with MERS, but this is the thing that has to be in place. But we do have to pick representatives tonight, so that's one thing that was mentioned in Mr. Ladd's opinion.
Right, and Earl's right, we kind of broke it up into a two-step process. First of all, with the treasurer's office and the finance department working on this policy, we're going to amend our policy to allow the kind of investments that we considered and that MERS offered at our last visit. And so if we amend our policy, we want to create also a committee. And in the committee, we've described the committee members would be the township superintendent, the treasurer, the finance director, and then I think there was a suggestion that we have an at-large township board member, and then perhaps one of the department heads or a department director serve on that committee. The purpose of the committee will be to review the performance and the allocation of the investments and to make recommendations back to the township board. In this policy, you see that the township board reserves the right to make any changes in the allocations, and you're also going to make the initial allocations, I hope, based on the committee that you'll create tonight. Because what I envisioned was the committee would meet within the next 7 days or so, study the offerings of MERS, and then bring a MERS resolution to you with the allocations already filled out. If you saw one of the attachments that I sent to you, it had the MERS resolution, and it wants us to specifically pick out the allocations between all the varieties, large cap, small cap bonds, and things like that. Right? And it seemed to our group that would probably be best handled initially at the committee level, and then set up with a recommendation for you within the next 10 days to 2 weeks, and then we'll pull the trigger on it. So tonight, what we'd like you to do is consider adopting this policy, and then also just help solve for us the one question of whether or not you want to have 2 board members on or one board member and a department head or a director. And then we'll carry on with the MERS resolution at our next meeting.
And would you give the primary, the three others on the committee?
Yes, so far there was no argument really about the superintendent, the treasurer, and the finance director. They seem to go automatically.
That's a must.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, I guess one thing, shouldn't we have a motion before we discuss this?
That's what I
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we do this,
yeah,
if anybody's going to
I was
support
going
it.
to apologize because I skipped ahead, yes.
I'll support it.
Okay, so at this point, like, if, like Mr. Kent, he expressed interest in doing this, so we could at least nominate one of the two tonight, and then, because we won't know about the other.
Well, but the township board is, I mean, you have the authority to choose that other person. And if you want to have two trustees, you can. If you want to have a department head, you can choose that option and pick them tonight, assuming they're willing to serve. And I don't know if it would default to whoever's here, but.
No, if they're not here, they can't refuse.
That's true.
Is there any other trustee that would be willing to do it?
How often will you meet, do you think?
Yeah, I think that was the
Yeah.
description.
My
You put me
thoughts,
out there.
I'll give you my thoughts were, Mr. Kent, if you've got the time to do it, I think you'd be an ideal candidate from the board to kind of oversee this. I think it's your area of expertise more than anybody else on this board. Thank you. I read the policy before the discussion. I kind of thought in my mind, one at-large department head would probably add a good balance and mix and sort of the other side of the coin, if you will, to this commission or committee. So I would like to see a day department head.
They're the ones that are going to be
Yeah,
affected, yeah.
exactly. Let them have a voice on this. So, just my thoughts.
I'd be for that. That makes sense. They should have some buy-in on it. I don't have an issue with that.
So we
And I
just need
think Jeff looks like he wants to do it.
Well, yeah, and by the way, I mean, just what occurred to me, these are all your employees, so this includes the police department, fire department,
Yeah, I was
and all
thinking
your next door folks as well,
Wiles
so.
would be good.
And the other thing is, you could change these people out. I mean, we set them up for terms, for 3-year terms, but we also have them, you can replace them by a majority vote of the board. So if they want to be swapped out or you want to swap them out, you're free to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So we would choose the department head,
Right.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
We need to do that tonight if we can.
right?
We have two good ones right there, because
Well,
Kathy's already on it.
Kathy's already on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but Jeff and
The assessor would also be chief wise.
that's what I think.
Becky, that's true.
Big, what?
That's what I think.
Becky Salati, would
Oh,
also be a
she-
great choice. She has been on the,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, but
that's
she usually
that's
isn't
another
she-
good one, yeah.
Okay.
Can we rip her in when she's
Yeah,
not here?
she's on the other group's
Absolutely.
committee.
it really, I think any of them will do a good job. I mean, the reason that, when we were going through the policy and developing it, the reason we started talking about having a department head was exactly that. Somebody with some skin in the game, somebody who,
Mhm.
we're talking about retiree health care investments, and, we think that's important. Who it is, I'm not as concerned with. I think really the board
Yeah.
selection, if you guys choose one from any of our department heads, I think they would be happy to serve, number one. And I
Yes.
think you can't make a bad choice. I think that there's, we've got good folks working, so, if Jeff really wants it, I'll let him speak for himself. It's a commitment that's gonna meet once a quarter, really, and so I don't think it's taxing to anybody.
Mhm,
We also have Chief Wiles out here that
We do indeed.
yeah.
reasonable.
Mhm.
See how his expression didn't change when you said that?
Okay, well, can we put off the department head
I think
name,
they should
or
decide
can,
tonight.
does it?
We should
I
decide.
think we should do
First
that.
adopt the
do it.
policy, then
Let's
we can
decide tonight.
Well,
Otherwise,
Um,
Do either of you guys know?
you could do it we would hope that you, for sure you'd adopt the policy tonight. And
Oh, yeah.
if you can decide, it would help us to decide on the committee, because the committee's gonna meet and then turn right around and shoot a recommendation.
Yeah.
If we nominate somebody who doesn't want to serve, they can
Does
vote.
anybody want to nominate somebody?
Let's have
For
this
the
guy.
department director,
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
I would nominate Chief Wiles to fill that position.
I'll support that. It's a big department. Is he willing to do it?
Why?
Okay. Do we have to vote?
Yes.
So this is the whole package.
This is the whole
Well, now,
thing,
we're-
the policy
So
and
the committee's going to include Mr. Kent,
the.
Correct.
Chief Wiles, and the members you mentioned.
Mhm.
Okay, and then that's going to be part of the motion?
Yep.
Okay. Understood?
And we'll do it by resolution if you don't mind.
Yes,
Okay, Mr. Bennett.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mrs. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Guzek.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Dr. Reardon.
Yes.
Mr. Kent.
Yes.
Okay.
thank you very much. And now, the board will consider a motion to recognize Police Chief David Stam for his 33 years of dedicated service to the township and the people of Grand Blanc.
So moved. Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Nothing like that. David, would you please come forward? The first one, I'm going to read because the person couldn't be here. Among all the committees that David serves on, one of them was the Traffic Safety Committee, the State Traffic Committee. Ruth Ann Johnson, Secretary of State, sent this certificate of recognition. David served under two governors, that he was at first appointed under Governor Granholm and reappointed under Governor Snyder. So may I read this? The certificate of recognition in honor of David Stam, in recognition of your dedication, commitment, and hard work for 33 years with Grand Blanc Township, and with deep appreciation for your leadership, good citizenship, and caring commitment to your community and those around you. On behalf of the people of the state of Michigan and the Michigan Department of State, Lansing, Michigan, United States of America, Ruth Johnson, Michigan Secretary of State. Important people, and we're going to start with our commissioner.
We have a plaque, a laudatory resolution that we brought on behalf of the Genesee County Board of Commissioners. It says, whereas it is a special pleasure to pay tribute to Police Chief David Stam in recognition of his retirement from Grand Blanc Township Police Department after 33 years of dedicated service. And whereas Dave graduated from the University of Michigan Flint with a bachelor's in criminal justice, continued his education with the FBI National Academy, Michigan Law Enforcement, Executive Development, and completed his basic training through the Flint Police Regional Training Academy, becoming licensed by MPOLS. And whereas David Stam became a patrol officer with the Grand Blanc Township Police Department in March 1983, was promoted to sergeant in 1992, holding many significant positions, last being the chief of police from November 1999 to January 22nd, 2016. And whereas Chief Stam has been affiliated with and sat on boards for numerous agencies such as the Genesee County Community Corrections Program, Genesee County 911 Advisory Board, Mott Community College Criminal Justice Board, Flint Area Narcotics Group, and Ellie's Place. He was co-chairman of Advocates and Leaders for Police and president of the Genesee County Association of Chiefs of Police. David was appointed by both Governor Granholm and Governor Snyder to the Governor's Training Safety Advisory Commission from 2005 to 2014. And whereas Chief David Stam is celebrating this achievement with his wife of 30 years, Alice, and their three daughters, Alexandra, Christina, and Megan. Now therefore be it resolved that this Board of County Commissioners of Genesee County, Michigan, on motion by Commissioner Mark Young, supported by Chairperson Jamie Curtis, does laud, applaud, and congratulate Chief David Stam. Congratulations.
now Representative Tim Sneller representing Charles Smiley. And are you two going to do it together? Okay.
Always.
All right. And our state senator, Dave Robertson.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here. Congratulations on your retirement, David. Let me just take a moment. I do have a resolution here. I want to take a moment to say that I've always appreciated your consummate professionalism in all that you've done as chief. And I've appreciated and valued your counsel on all matters involving law enforcement throughout my time on both the County Commission, State House, and the State Senate. So I'm delighted to take a moment. I do have a resolution here. Some of the language is similar, but I think it's sufficiently different here. I do want to take a moment to read it if I could. I know I speak for Representative Smiley as well, because the House was in session a bit later this afternoon than the Senate. We adjourned a little earlier. So if I may, it's to Police Chief David Stam, Grand Lake Charter Township retirement. Congratulations. Let it be known that it is with the gratitude and admiration that we salute Police Chief David Stam of the Grand Lake Police Department upon the occasion of his retirement. As someone who has taken on one of society's most difficult tasks each day throughout his career, David has earned the respect of the entire Grand Lake Charter Township community and all of Michigan. David Stam has been a key contributor to the order and justice that distinguish our country from most of the world. In 1983, as a patrol officer, David developed and implemented field training programs for Grand Lake Township officers. From January 1992 through May 1999, David served as a sergeant and supervised police officers in communications operations on assigned shifts. He assisted with developing shift schedules, calling in off-duty officers to fill shift absences, and monitoring radio traffic. Later that year, Mr. Stam was promoted to interim police captain, where he served in that position until November of 1999, when he was appointed chief of police. Over the years, Chief Stam has managed the department for 41 sworn officers and 12 civilian employees with a $6.3 million budget, providing efficient command of police operations, utilizing and maintaining a well-defined command structure, developed and implemented policies and procedures in accordance with township codes and ordinances, as well as state and federal laws and regulations. Finally, Mr. Stam acted as the department spokesman, establishing and maintaining effective relationships with citizens, news media, community groups, township officials, employees, and other interested parties. Chief Stam has matched his professional commitment to his community with extensive involvement with various organizations. He was appointed by Governors Granholm and Snyder to the Governor's Traffic Safety Advisory Commission, served as president of the Genesee County Association of Police Chiefs from 2006 to 2008, Genesee County 911 Advisory Board, the co-chair of AllPact, that's the Advocates and Leaders for Police and Community Trust, the Flint Area Narcotics Group, and was a board member of Eli's Place. David Stam has remained devoted to the highest standards of excellence. For this, Grand Blanc and the entire Great Lakes State can be thankful. In special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to salute David Stam as he retires following 33 years of outstanding service as a member of the Grand Blanc Police Department. We offer our best wishes to David Stam and his family for the health and happiness he has truly earned. It is signed by Representative Smiley, myself, and on behalf of all the people of the state of Michigan, congratulations and thank you very much.
Okay. Now, one of the things that we talked about is what David, no, we're not done yet. One of the things Dave has done is open our play, a Grand Blanc, to the whole community, to the whole region. And especially in regard to training, you may see every time you go past, there's a dozen other cars from other places where people come to train at our police department because of Dave's background and using his influence throughout the community. So, and before I do this, Alice, would you and the girls come up, please? Nobody, somebody's missing.
Alan's she's on the west side of the state.
Yeah. As I say, nobody can do this without the family backing, and he's had the backing all along. And we saw that the other day at the police party for him, his retirement party at the police station. And what's happened is that place where other people meet and train and use for community meetings, this room is now the David E. Stam Community Room. This sign will be above the community room in our police department. Blanc means our police department is special because of Dave and the leadership he has shown with the other people in the department to make it such an outstanding department. These people, we have this motto on our police cars, protect and serve. Dave makes sure that they get equal treatment, and that motto is a mantra throughout our police department, that although we protect, we also serve our community. And that's been done under his leadership. He's been active through, as you've seen by all the things that people have said, that he's been active throughout the community, the whole region, the state. And so there were 19 just outside our police department boards and committees that he served on. So we've been together for 24 years. And he has had a lot of accolades, but to me, it's just that he's a very special friend.
Chief, we're going to miss you, but we want to help you celebrate your retirement, and this was not my idea.
Who put the screen down?
Get out!
Yes. I would like to also recognize the fact that our city mayor and manager are here for your retirement party, and they want to wish you the best too. So do you want to say anything?
You know, it's been a pleasure. I've known Dave for a long time, and it's pretty amazing to say that he's served as well as through 3 chiefs, Chief Heidel, Chief Solomon, and Chief Light now. And the way that everybody respects Dave Stam is a tribute to his commitment to this whole community, that everybody has worked together, you know, through all of these years. And that's why this community is as great as it is, because even though we might be a city and township, we work very well together. And we really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Thanks. On behalf of my family and myself, I really appreciate it. It was heartbreaking to go ahead and retire after 33 years and call it quits. And I couldn't ask for a better community to serve, both the city and township. We've had nothing but great support from everyone. The township board has been outstanding. I was thinking about the township boards. I believe I'm on my 5th board. 99, 2000, 2004, 8, 12. So it's kind of interesting to watch
They're up there.
the changes.
Yeah.
But, and then on behalf of the police department and other employees that came tonight, I really appreciate it. You guys are a tremendous asset to this community, and I know you're going to serve the community extremely well over the rest of it. 2 more decades at least for some of you. I don't know how much longer for you, Jarrell. But no, on behalf of our family, I really thank you all. It's been a great run, and if there's something I can do in the future to help and assist anyone, I really appreciate it. If you would, just give me a call and I'll see what I can do. Who knows where I'll end up next, but right now I'm just going to take my time and relax and get our house back in order. Because we're starting a little bit of kitchen remodeling. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see. At least I want to find out the price tag.
Yeah.
It's going to be painful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. And now, our people over on this side have
Well, you want to do public
decided
comment first or short?
to provide some refreshments. So, go ahead.
Public comment.
Yeah.
Public comment.
You all right? Is there any other public comment?
No public
We
comment?
have
Okay.
none? I would ask for a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?